good kitty.
Bad dog.
I'm kidding, that's a bad kitty!
Good dog.
That's a good kitty.
Pretty bird. Yeah, can you say pretty bird? Pretty bird.
Hello, welcome to the Black and Blue Collar Reader. My name is Dan. Today I have a wonderful collab video for you folks. I reached out to a whole bunch of booktubers and asked them who their favorite animal companions are in fantasy literature. I also asked them to introduce their favorite animal companions in real life. Well, here's mine. This man right here is named Iggy Smalls. And he's getting a little futzy in the tummy over here, so I might change his name to Piggy Smalls. I also have other pets in this house. My first dog I ever got, his name is Jackson Brown. He's being very uncooperative and is a little camera shy. My other two pets are cats. And of course, you can't pick cats up and get them to do anything. So I'm just going to provide you with a photo of my two cats. The first one is named Mario, and the last is named Stella Blue. So stick around for this wonderful collab video while we introduce our favorite animal companions and our pets.
Hey there, this is Matt from Matt's Fantasy Book Reviews, here with my kitty cat Maui, who is feeling a little feisty at the moment. Hey Maui, you don't have to stay here for the whole thing. But I was asked to join you and talk about what my favorite animal companion in all of fantasy is. And I feel like this might be a common one, and I wanted to say something a little bit more unique here, but I have to be honest with you that my favorite is Night Eyes. This is from Realm of the Elderlings. Night Eyes is a wolf that I don't want to spoil anything from Realm of the Elderlings with you, but he's the most developed fantasy animal of all time. And I think that's probably without a doubt. Maybe there's something I just haven't heard of before, but Night Eyes is just wonderful because Night Eyes can actually kind of communicate a little bit more than others, not in the sense that you would normally think. I don't want to ruin anything. But Night Eyes undergoes growth with the main character Fitz. They grow up together. They learn more about each other. They make each other better individuals. I was going to say people, but I guess Night Eyes isn't a person, is he? But yeah, Night Eyes is wonderful. I went through every range of emotions with this character, from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, and I just can't stop thinking about this character, even well after I finish this series, and it's one of the main reasons that I want to get back into Realm of the Elderlings someday and do a reread. So, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the video.
I need to go get the cat. So it was difficult to pick him up this time, but we'd like to introduce Bilbo Baggins, and then we'd like to introduce ourselves.
We are Carlos and Yolanda from StoryTube, and this is a very unwilling third participant. This is Bilbo Baggins.
Dan from the Black and Blue Collar Reader asked us to make a video introducing our little fluff baby and say which fluff babies in fantasy we like.
Do we need to hold the stabby fluff baby while we do that?
Yes.
Okay.
So, my favourite animal companion in fantasy, I think, is Storm from The Faithful and the Fallen, and it's mainly because of the love and the connection that John Gwynne writes with between Corbin and Storm. So, you as the reader become attached to Storm, much like this cat is attached to me physically right now.
So I have chosen Mr. Kindly from the Nevernight Chronicles as my favourite animal companion because he's a cat and he's a shadow and he's sarcastic and he's just absolutely wonderful in every way, and he has a very special place in my heart because when I first read the Nevernight trilogy, I had a cat-shaped hole in my heart and he filled it beautifully. So Mr. Kindly.
Cool. Do you want to say bye now, Bilbo?
You have a cat claw-shaped hole in your chest.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, and hey Dan, thanks for inviting me to be a part of this.
You asked me if I could bring along my pets. I don't actually have any pets. I used to have fish. We used to have a marine fish tank, but we removed it from the house a few years back because it was very high maintenance, and we ended up needing the space for something else, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So I don't actually have any pets at the moment, but I thought I would bring along something that is equally pleasing to me and equally endearing to me, and that is my plant, Fiddy Fig. So Fiddy Fig is a fiddle leaf fig, and he's really tall, and I don't think he's going to fit entirely in the frame of my camera, but there we have it. I'm a huge plant lover. I have plants wherever I go, and Fiddy Fig, I have to say, is very, very high maintenance, and probably more high maintenance than most pets. He demands a lot, but he's a handsome looking chap, so I guess it's all right in this instance. In terms of my favorite animal companion, I would say Hedwig is probably my favorite animal companion so far. So helpful, so resourceful, the trusty friend that you always need and you know will have your back. You know, you feel a sense of happiness when you see her. The scene where, spoiler alert, Hedwig dies genuinely broke a piece of my heart, and I don't think I've ever fully recovered from that, to be completely honest. The other one that I will just give a very quick honourable mention to, though I don't remember her name, and I actually tried to find it via Google and I couldn't find it anywhere, and that is the horse in Empire of the Vampire by Jay Krostov. Gabrielle de Lyon's horse has been with him for a very, very long time, and there's a scene, another spoiler alert, where she essentially gets ravaged to death by vampires, and it's deeply upsetting. And I remember having to pause when I read that section because it was just so sad, and I really felt, again, like I'd lost a part of myself. So those would be my two picks. Hedwig for sure still kind of remains as the top, and then I would say the horse from Empire of the Vampire. Thanks for having me on your channel, Dan. Really appreciate it, and I hope you all have a lovely day. Say bye, Fiddy Fig. Bye, guys.
Hey everybody, this is Colin from the channel Colin's Corner. I want to thank Dan for asking me to do this. This seems like a really fun idea for a video. So in our family we have two animals. We have two cats. We have one named Ono. Yes, Ono is his name. And our other cat is named Mitzi. She is not the sharpest tool in the shed, we will say. But they are both funny in their own ways, and they are both very much so cats in their own ways. Now, my favorite animal companion in fantasy that I have read so far has got to be Oi from the Dark Tower series. Oi is a Billy Bumbler. If you have read the series, or if you read the series, you will know what a Billy Bumbler is. And Oi, the reason he's my favorite is because he slowly but surely works his way into not only your heart as the reader, but into the quartet, and he is very much so a part of the quartet and has some really just deep moments with this Billy Bumbler that took me by surprise. And you know, by the end of you know, the series, I really just envisioned Oi as just another part of the quartet. He's got a very important place there. So yeah, my favorite animal companion is Oi.
Hey, Dan. This is Phoebe, and she is joining us for our quick video on animal companions in fantasy literature. Of course, she's the best animal companion ever. But I wanted to say, you know, like the obvious, Guinevere from the Drizzt trilogies in you know, in the Forgotten Realms there. But I think I wanted to go with more recency bias, and that would be the Egerton rat from the Bone Hunters. Yeah, that's a strange choice probably from for some people, but that rat saved a lot of soldiers. And I know he was kind of like magically taken over by the mage bottle, you know, but still, that rat got to the places that those soldiers couldn't go and got them out of a very sticky situation. So my vote for animal companion is Egerton the rat from the Bone Hunters. Thanks, Dan.
Black and Blue Collar Reader, Jimmy Nuts here from the Fantasy Network. Appreciate you asking me what my favorite animal companion is in fantasy, and there's a lot of really good ones out there. Nice blinker, doofus. I'm on the way to the gym. I got my headphones. I'm hitting a big leg day. It's a beautiful Saturday morning, and I got people on the road that don't know how to drive. Anyways, so I definitely think that I have to go with, again? Move it, Grandpa! So I would definitely pick Night Eyes from the Realm of the Underling series. I think that not only is Night Eyes adorable, because he's a wolf companion, everybody loves wolves, and it's also the fact that the way he affects Fitz. Fitz and him both have impacts on each other. Night Eyes becomes a little bit more human as the story goes along, and Fitz becomes more like a wolf. And let's be honest, the other reason is because, as you can see, I got that dog in me.
Hey everyone, Chris here from the channel Christopher Navo, or C Navo, the next chapter. Thanks for having me on, Dan. I really appreciate it, because pets have always been a big part of my life ever since I've been a small child, and that trend continues today. So I want to introduce you guys to my furry companions. First up, we have Yoshi. He is my crazy but affectionate 1.5-year-old mix, and he's been a big part of our family, and we're happy to have him. Next up, we have Jasper. He is my 12-year-old, half Corgi, half Black Lab mix, very loyal and still energetic even at his age. Aren't you, Jasper? Because I have 2 pets, I'm going to name 2 animal companions in fantasy that have touched my heart. And the first one is kind of dedicated to my cat, Yoshi. Yoshi, roughly translated in Japanese, means good luck. Nothing personifies good luck more than Falkor. From the Never-Ending Story by Michael Ende, the Luck Dragon. Everybody wanted a luck dragon when we were kids, and Falkor was just that persona of optimism and love and hope, the fight against evil and the darkness, and he always was there to encourage our hero to continue on, and I loved Falkor for that. The other animal companion I want to mention here is more from a recent read, and that was Beer Mug from the 5 Warrior Angel series by Brian Lee Durfee. This is dedicated to my dog Jasper. Jasper is loyal to a fault, and so is Beer Mug. Beer Mug is loyal to his companions. He looks out for them. You know, you always feel comforted knowing that Beer Mug is in the scene with you. And I love that Brian gave this dog a voice without actually literally giving him a voice. So those are my 2 picks for animal companions in fantasy. Dan, thank you so much for putting this together. What an amazing idea.
Hey, I'm Matt with Go Read Books, and this is Nala. She is our 7-month-old Labradoodle, our animal companion. So the choice I'm going to make for my favorite animal companion is going to come from the Chronicles of Narnia, Aslan. And I know Aslan is much more than a animal companion. He's a guide, he is a companion, he's a leader, a friend, and all of those things. But his faithful companionship throughout the books was very striking to me and encouraging to me, as an animal companion should be. So Aslan is my choice.
Hey Dan, thanks for asking me to be a part of this video. And essentially, I'm going to introduce my cat. My cat is Skittles right here. She's adorable. She's just had 3 teeth pulled, so I'm kind of leaving her alone, but you get to enjoy this nice photo of her. And yeah, so you asked me who is my favorite animal companion, and it'd be very easy to say like Night Eyes or something like that. And instead, because the series is wrapping up now, I have to choose Orthos from Cradle. And essentially, Orthos is this giant fire turtle who, when we first meet him, is kind of insane, and the journey and the bond that he and Lyndon have to form as the series progresses is just very impactful. I like how he progresses as a character. I like how he's this kind of grumpy old man. He's this giant turtle, about, I don't know, probably as big as this area of my bookshelves, breathes fire, and he's just, the dragon advances. I think Orthos is so cool, so that is my pick for my favorite animal companion.
Okay, hi there, Tawana here. These are my 2 pets. We have Abigail, and in the background you'll see Bagheera. And Abigail was a rescue dog. She was found on the side of the road with a litter of some other dogs. Her original name was Fresca, possibly. And she's getting a little old. You can see she has a little bit of gray in the face and some white hair, white fur popping up. But she is a lovely, wonderful dog. And then over here we have Bagheera. And my husband picked Bagheera. Bagheera, you want to look over here? Bagheera was also found with a number of other cats, with a litter of other cats outside of my husband's apartment. And he picked Bagheera because Bagheera is very outgoing and bold and fierce. And this cat seems like he owns the neighborhood. He's an indoor and outdoor cat. And just like the Jungle Book character, Bagheera, he just seems like he is made for prowling all around and hunting small creatures. I don't really like it when he ends up capturing small creatures, but he's very loving. He loves Abigail very much. He feels very safe when Abigail is nearby. See if we have Abigail here again. And I'm just so happy that they're part of my family. My favorite animal companion goes between Oi from the Dark Tower series, Night Eyes from the Farseer trilogy, or Ghost from A Song of Ice and Fire. And if I really had to choose, I'd probably go for Oi from the Dark Tower series.
Hey, this is Bryce with Shelf Centered. I've got my little animal companion here, Oreo. Oh no, now you might know my passwords in 10 years. Anyway, that's my favorite little animal companion, but my favorite fantasy book companion, I might have to cover his ears. It's Guinevere. It's a cat. Okay, sorry. You didn't hear that, right? All right, we're good.
You looking outside? Yeah. All right, so I have one critter here, the other critter here, Max and George. And Dan, you asked for my favorite animal companion that is not Night Eyes. And I think even considering Night Eyes, my favorite animal companion is Solavei from the Winter Night trilogy by Catherine Arden. Solavei is, you should not be surprised, a horse. And he is just so wonderful. And yeah, he's just, the way that she writes him, he just jumps off the page, no pun intended, as this wonderful colt. And he acts exactly how I would imagine a colt would, in regards to their personality, or his personality, and his and what he says and how he responds to everything. So it's great. I'm currently being groomed, I suppose. I guess I need to... You trying to say I need a bath, Max? You trying to say I need a bath? So, anyways, yes, Solavei is my favorite animal companion.
Hello, Dan. Thank you for inviting me to participate in this video about our pets and our favorite animal companions. Belladonna was our dog for many years, and unfortunately she passed away last December, but she brought a lot of love and a lot of life to our family, and I am sure that she would have enjoyed meeting my favorite animal companion, which is Night Eyes from the realm of the Elderlings. I'm not sure what Night Eyes would have made of Belladonna, but maybe they would have been good pals. At any rate, here are a few clips of Belladonna. Welcome to my channel on the best of fantasy!
What's up? I'm Robert from Punk Rock Cereal Bowl, and today I'm excited to tell you about my favorite animal companion in fantasy. But first, I have to introduce my personal companion and all-around great representative of the most popular type of pet here in New Mexico, Balboa. Say hi, Balboa. He's a little shy. Anyway, my favorite fantasy companion is Buttons, the necromantic mouse from A Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry. Buttons is a reanimated skeleton of a mouse who only speaks in an ethereal noise, so he's probably not as cuddly as some of the other animals on this list, but he more than makes up for that in heart and hilarity. He really grows on you by the end of this book. So if you haven't read A Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry, get on it, enjoy Buttons. He's the best skeleton mouse you'll ever see. Thanks, Dan, for letting me join this video. I'll see you guys around. All right, you ready, Balboa? You ready, Balboa? Fetch!
Hi everyone, my name is Kayla from Kay's Hidden Shelf. Thank you so much, Jan, for having me in this collaboration to share with you all my favorite animal companion in fantasy. First things first, my own little animal companion is Pepper. She is a black little fuzzball who is the destroyer of twist ties and the ultimate cuddler. While she is getting up there in years, she still has the energy of a kitten, but is also a fantastic reading buddy. Now, my favorite animal companion is actually a spoiler, so I'm going to try and keep this as spoiler-free as possible. The series is the Winter Night Trilogy by Catherine Arden. This is an enchanting retelling from Russian folklore setting around the 1400s. It follows a young girl who doesn't quite fit the social norms or expectations at that time. She wants more from life than what is expected of her family. She doesn't quite fit in, and she certainly has a mind of her own, mixing enchanting storytelling with gripping scenes and endearing characters that are not only memorable but jump off the page. The bond between the animal companion and the character is endearing. Their relationship is built in such a genuine and nuanced way, where their own two distinct voices come together to create an incredible relationship. Despite everything I've read since this trilogy, it remains the most memorable relationship that I have read thus far. It is compelling, it is beautifully written, and the enchanting nature of it with some darker moments was reminiscent of Neil Gaiman. If you are looking for your next enchanting and chilling retelling with a phenomenal animal companion, this is one I cannot recommend enough.
What's going on, Dan? Thanks for having me on. You asked me two questions. First one is, do I have any pets? And the answer is yes. This is little Harley Quinn. This little sad looking boy right here is little dude. We got old lady Moki right here. And the wild dog right here, Gigi. As for favorite animal companion, well, I figured a lot of people were gonna say ghost or night eyes or something along that lines. So I wanted to go something a little bit more esoteric for you. And I picked Move and Pick from Remote Control. That's by Nydia Okorafor. It's a great book about a young girl that gains the power of death. She can expand out this power and then basically take out towns. And the only living thing that's not scared of her and that's, a companion to her is this little fox that she names Move and Pick. And for some reason, it doesn't really explore why in the book, but it's pretty cool. The fox is immune to the powers and just follows her around all the time. Very cute little thing, awesome little book and little animal. So anyways, thanks for having me on, and until next time, peace.
So this is Tiberius Claudius Nero Germanicus. Where are you going? Which is the full name of the Emperor Claudius, which is who he is. Claudius, which is who he is named after. And for including me in this discussion, or in this collab, I'm going to say that my favorite animal companion is probably going to be Guinevere from the Dritz books. I'm sure there are others since then, but that was my first real animal companion, was in the Forgotten Realms Dritz books, and the figurine of wondrous power that Dritz has that turns into a Black Panther. And it's spelled like Guinevere, but it's Guinevere, because they call her Gwen. Anyway. So, yeah, that is my favorite. It, of course, would be a cat. There are not nearly enough cats in fantasy, and there should be. But, yes, this is Alan from the Library of Alexandria.
Hey Dan, Alex here from Tall Guy Reads, and you reached out asking me if I had a pet and if I could introduce them, and to answer who my favorite animal companion is in fantasy and why. So yes, I do have a pet. I have 3 dogs actually, 2 of which are just like this one right here, and her name is Olive. She is an Airedale Terrier, and yes, her name is Olive, like the food. It is not short for Olivia or anything like that. The other one is named Fisher, and he's fantastic, but he's a bull in a china shop, so he didn't want to come in here when I was filming this. But Olive is a fantastic person, fantastic girl, and probably, you know, one of my favorite things about this world. So I love Olive, and when it comes to animal companions in fantasy, I think my favorite would have to be Night Eyes from Realm of the Elderlings. I just think the connection that Robin Hobb writes between Fitz and Night Eyes over the course of all of those books, and how much of an impact they each have on each other, and how much emotion they share, and how much care they really have for each other, and the sacrifices that they have to go through for each other in those books is just so rewarding. It feels so realistic, and it's just a connection between man and animal that I've just never really experienced in fantasy, let alone other fiction. And I think the way it's done in Realm of the Elderlings is just probably the best I've ever experienced. So yes, I'm going to have to go with Night Eyes from the Realm of the Elderlings. I love Night Eyes so much, and in some ways Olive reminds me of Night Eyes, except she's much more timid, much more scared, and is currently shaking like crazy right now because she wants to get off my lap as soon as possible. But overall, yes, Night Eyes from the Realm of the Elderlings. Thank you so much for asking me to do this. This was a ton of fun.
Hey there, so my name is Chaz. My channel is Bookish Chaz, and this is my animal companion. Her name is Ari. She's actually named after the League of Legends character. We got her from a neighbor, and they had already named her. They named her after the League of Legends character, and we just didn't change it. So I'm a cat guy. I love cats. And my favorite animal companion is Raul from the Aeronauts Windlass. That is the Cinder Spiders series by Jim Butcher. Raul is just an amazing character. He's a really snarky, wisecracking cat who thinks he's superior to all humans and thinks cats are superior to all humans. He's not wrong. And there's one character in the book that can speak cat, and so we get the perspective of Raul throughout the book, and he's just a lot of fun. That is my favorite animal companion.
What's going on, Dan? It is Dylan. Thank you so much for asking me to be a part of this video. I've got the whole zoo here with me. This is my dog. Go ahead and introduce yourself. All right, and then you. All right. So my favorite animal companion in fantasy is probably, without a doubt, I don't know why I said probably, without a doubt, Nosy from Assassin's Apprentice. Without saying too much about the story, just such a sad but great arc of a character, you know, and you don't think of pets as having great arcs most of the time, but really loved the way that Robin Hobb used that character. And it was sad too, but I don't want to say too much about Assassin's Apprentice. Fantastic read, fantastic book. And Nosy is by far one of my favorite animal companions, for sure. Anyway, thank you so much, Dan, for including me, and I will catch up with you later.
Hey, what's up, bookworms? Dan hit me up and said, Mike, I want to know about your pet and your favorite animal companion. Well, my dog is really camera shy. Like, really. Like, if I put him in here, he would tear down the walls. Like a real crazy, savage animal companion, like the one I'm going to talk about here in a minute. But I guess I'll flash a picture for you here. This is Ash. Yes, he is named after Ash Williams of Chainsaw fame and Evil Dead. It just seemed right. It just worked out right. But as for my favorite animal companion, I made a video about this a while back. And it was before I read this other series, and that's why I'm going to go ahead and talk about one of those characters I left off because I hadn't read it yet, but I have since. Of course, I'm talking about Guinevere from The Legend of Drizzt by R.A. Salvatore. Guinevere is not only one of the most awesome animals in the animal kingdom in that Black Panther, but she is also a great, mighty, magical beast with a little bit of spectral powers you kind of have to read and find out, and I encourage you to do so because, guys, once you fall in love with Guinevere, you'll understand why this series is so popular. And the fact that she's dang near immortal, it makes it really, really safe from having your heart broken by Mr. Salvatore. But who knows, guys? I'm only on book 4 of like 50. So we shall see. But Dan, thank you so much for asking, and take care.
Hey, I just want to give a big thank you to all the YouTubers that participated in this collab. I know how hard it can be to wrangle up some pets for a video. As a matter of fact, I've been trying to do it for days, and I finally got these two together to say thank you again to everybody, and we hope you enjoyed this video. Until I see you guys again, let's keep growing to be better people. Let's keep growing to be better animal lovers, and I will see you guys on that flip side. Peace. Say bye, guys. Say bye.